big old mess in the background. I've been moving some stuff around here in the office, so it looks a little different. This is the part that's new. Well, I put those shelves here. I ended up moving a bunch of things around. This shelf used to be over here, and then this desk used to have this in the background, and I just turned it 90 degrees, so now this is the background. And then I can have easier access to that design wall if I need it. And I've got like a little bit bigger of a space, and then I've got more shelving here. So I still have like this mess behind me to deal with, but that's not today's thing. Today's thing is going to be working on a bajillion zippered pouches. Spent a bunch of time last night getting these to this point. I was hoping to get them all done. I got like 5 done. So now I'm finishing them up, and I have like lots to finish. So I'm going to sit here and work on these, and I thought that I would, hello everyone that's popping in. I thought I would hop on live for a little bit while I work on these. And answer QuiltCon questions. I'm wearing my QuiltCon 2025 t-shirts. This is last year's tee. And QuiltCon starts on Thursday. It's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. It's in Raleigh, North Carolina. It is the biggest modern quilt show in the world. It's put on by the Modern Quilt Guild. And it's been going, I don't know, well over a decade. It's a good show. Oh, hold on. I want to put a label in here. Why? I don't know. Why not? I have all these labels and I don't use them nearly often enough. So I figured I'm going to make all these pouches. There we go. Got pinched by the needle bar. All right. Let's see who's here. Hello. Oh, got lots of people here. Helen, hi from San Antonio. Hi from Maine. Sharon Saunders. One of the Sharon Saunders is here. Hello from Washington. Mrs. J. Bryant is here from Arkansas. Oh, hi, Annette. Hi, Debbie. Debbie says, miss our December mornings. Those were fun. Debbie says, hi from New Zealand. Hello from New Hampshire, says Catherine. Spokane. Hi, Cheryl. And hi from San Diego. I'm here in San Diego trying to get all the things done. Will I get them all done? Maybe. Maybe. In my head, I will. So there's 2 ways to cross things off the list. One way is if it's done, and the other way is if you're not going to get it done, so you just cross it off the list because you don't need to be looking at that anymore because it's not going to get done anyway. So right now I'm still in the, I think I can cross them off the list because they're done stage. But we'll see. We'll see. Hello from Oklahoma. Well, happy Valentine's Day, everyone. I had a lovely Valentine's lunch with my hubby and enjoyed spending some time with him before coming here to try to get some progress made on QuiltCon prep. I forgot to open up my zipper. All right. Having your zipper pull on the outside of your bag is not, it's not it. It won't work that way. I didn't do it. The 5 that I finished last night did not manage to forget this. First one today on live video, managed to screw it up. That's fine. It's still fixable. When I'm doing bunches of zipper pouches like this, I mean, I have a big, whole, huge thing of zippers, so I like to find the zippers that are the right color, and they're usually too long, which makes them really easy to position. But so I cut off the ends before turning it right side out, and thankfully I didn't cut it off yet because the zipper pull was on the wrong side, and that would have made this entire pouch a waste. I would have had to unpick everything and put in a new zipper. Not everything. The box corners could have stayed. So it wouldn't have been a total loss, but it would have been a big loss. Okay. Fixed. Alrighty. So I'm going to trim off this zipper. There we go. And then I can turn the right side out. Or birthday. Yes, I had my birthday earlier this week. I had a good birthday. We went to dinner and we did an escape room, and it was at an escape room place that we hadn't done before. And if you've ever done escape rooms, like there's a bunch of puzzles, and as you solve the puzzles, you usually get keys or clues that unlock locks that get you more keys and clues to unlock more locks until finally you're able to get out. And this one was, I've never been in an escape room like this. He told us it was a linear escape room. So that meant basically you were only solving one puzzle at a time, which we had 5 of us there. So 5 people all basically working on the same puzzle at the same time can get a little chaotic. But we escaped with 1 minute and 30 seconds to go, which is not a lot of time. Like for a little bit there, we thought we might not make it. And he said that the people who it has like a 60% pass rate. So 40% of people fail. We did pretty good though. And we got out. We got out. All right. There we go. Little zipper pouch. Done. Next. Keep going. Oh, let me not make the same mistake again. Let me unzip this part way. There we go. That's better. So is everyone else sewing on today on Valentine's Day? So anyway, I'm going to QuiltCon next week. I don't know if anyone else is planning on attending, has seen QuiltCon before, just like watches the good stuff online. Would like to go, doesn't like to go, is interested. This will be my 6th QuiltCon. I went to the other Raleigh QuiltCon. I went to the 2 Phoenix QuiltCons, and I went to the 2 Pasadena QuiltCons. So this would be my 6th QuiltCon. And this year I am taking no classes, and I did not sign up for the lecture pass either. So no classes, no lecture pass. I'm just going to hang out. I'm going to go see the show floor. I'm going to go see the quilts. I'm going to see the people. It's my favorite part is people. Yeah. Do you have an order or just making them? I don't make things for order, so I don't like having it. Like the things that I sell is instructions or information or tools for you to make things yourself. If I'm making something, it's usually like a gift or a usually like a gift. So I don't usually make things for sale. If you have something that I made, it's probably that it was gifted to you, or you might have like got it in an auction. Because I don't have a lot of time for making things. I cannot tell you the details of exactly where these pouches will end up. Not because I don't know. Well, kind of, I don't know. We'll see. It's a secret. Debbie wants to know if the scavenger hunt is ready. I need to check in with Angela. I haven't seen the email come back from Angela. She's the one who's actually putting the scavenger hunt together. But that will happen in the next couple days. I did get clipboards for Mac and I to use, and I got timers for us, and so I got clipboards, and the clipboards were sparkly, and I got timers, but I couldn't find sparkly timers, so I made them sparkly. So you'll have to watch for that, because that's a good use of my time, right? I've got limited time. How about I spend, a couple hours adding rhinestones to some timers? That's normal. Um, yeah. Playing with graph paper. Not sewing yet today. There's still time. What are the zipper pouches for? Yeah, I can't tell you what they're coming to QuiltCon with me. That much I will tell you. Um, QuiltCon's a bucket list wish list for me someday. Yes. All right. I don't know what that is. Making I Spy bags for grandson's preschool class. That's fun. Attempting to make my pleated pincushion. That's a fun one. Do you put interfacing in them? So there's fusible fleece on them. I'll show you in a second when I do the next one. Um, I knew there would be bling. It's almost like you know me. You want to see? Okay. I need to be sitting here sewing and not get distracted by things. All right, let me finish sewing the zipper pouch, and then I will show you. There will be more bling. There is some serious bling. I found something just hilarious and fun, and since my big goal for this year is just to add more whimsy, I was like, what would be more whimsy than this? I mean, there are other things that would be more whimsy, but it was way up there on that. Yes, this will add whimsy to my life list. So I did it. All right. So I think these are taking about 6 minutes a piece to finish up. Just the last bit. Ta-da. Maybe a little less. Maybe 5. Okay. And then I'm going to get distracted by doing things like this. Oh, what's up here? All right. This is a sneak peek for those who watch the lives and who watch the live replays, because those of you here on lives and live replays know that we just talk real here. We're like the real friends. And then so later when I officially announce this, launch this, show this to people, you just have to pretend that you were surprised. Ready? So I only have one finished, but this is my t-shirts for Raleigh. Is that so fun? These are rhinestones. Of course there's gonna be bling. Of course there's gonna be rhinestones. So I found a company that would turn my logo into rhinestones. And so yeah, had to do that. Okay, so this is the fabric, and then you can see this is fusible fleece that's been on the outer fabric. And then the inner fabric has no interfacing. So this is the lining or interfacing, or the lining or inner fabric. This is the outer fabric, and then I have fusible fleece on the outer fabric, which gives it some body and I don't know, makes it kind of nice and soft. Gives it some, when there's things in there, it doesn't look quite as lumpy. And oh man, has this been a project. So I picked out which fabrics I wanted, did big yards of the fabric out, interfaced the outer fabric, then cut it all up into the pieces, then boxed all the corners on all the pieces, then sewed all of the box corners, then attached the zippers to everything. And now another 5 minutes per finish them up. Oh, gotta get one when they're available. So the bling shirts they're just for me. They're what I'd have to charge for them. No, I mean maybe you would pay, but it's silly. The bling shirts are just They're just a fun little exclusive, like, for me to wear sometimes. Like, I don't think I'll wear them in videos because I think it might be obnoxious in videos to have all that. I just have this feeling of the comments that'll be like, "Oh, I was so distracted by the sparkling rhinestones catching the light that I couldn't pay attention to what you were doing in the video." I don't know. I have this feeling. So we will it'll probably just be for events. But I feel like that's fun still, right? And this will be the year. Also, on Thursday, which was my birthday, I launched a new pattern, which was actually just two new patterns, the crown and tiara pattern. And it's so fun to see how much people are loving those already. And I can't wait to see throughout the year all of the birthday crowns that are going to get made, all the celebratory crowns. That's going to be fun. Need to wear them for an Advent unboxing day. I could do that. I just don't want it to be like an educational, like a tutorial video. Oh, very cool. Says, I hope to meet you this week. Well, I will be around. I'll make sure that I post it in the YouTube like community tab, like where I posted all of the surveys and stuff. When we were doing Advent, the list of like where I'll be each day, because like Thursday I'll spend a lot of the day like roaming around, and I've got chaos that I'll be um participating in, creating just nonsense. Um, So that's Thursday. But like Thursday, I think it's at 3 o'clock. I'm doing a pincushion make and take at the Wonderful booth. And if you were here for the last live, you saw me working on making all those pincushion carcasses. I did get those finished. I did get them shipped off to Wonderful. And so those will be there waiting for for the pincushion make and take. And so you just want to, the make and take itself isn't until 3, but you want to get to the Wonderful booth early and get signed up because they have signups. And then if you miss the signups, then show up at like 10 to 3 anyway, because there's always a person or two who gets like caught up in something else and doesn't show up. And if they're not there like 10 after 3, but you were there, on time, then you just take their spot. All right. Yep. These are taking about 6 minutes apiece, which means about a good 2 hours of sewing ahead of me. It's going to write you the Advent box party in Florida was fun. Oh, I bet it was. Yes, let me know when the deposit comes out. I need to be an educator at the AQS show in let them know. Like, when sometimes shows reach out to me and say, "Hey, would you like to come teach?" And then we have a conversation of if it makes sense. I don't do a ton of teaching. I guess I'm doing more this year. The big ones that I have coming up is I'll be in Chicago in May. Well, I've got QuiltCon that's coming up next weekend. Then I've got the Fabric and Fiber Festival in Chicago in May, and I'm teaching beginner foundation paper piecing, and I'm teaching I'm making quilts with pre-cuts. It's based on my best-selling book, the 10-inch square quilt block book. So got those, and then in October I'm going to be in Hawaii. So sign up at Vicky's Quilts in Hawaii, and we're going to have a great time sewing in Hawaii. I'm really looking forward to that one. So I think those are the big ones that I have this year. I go to other events. Some of them are not confirmed yet. What else stuff going on? And then some of them are like industry events. Like after the Fabric and Fiber Festival in Chicago is the H&H industry show. So I will be at H&H industry show. Everyone stopping by to say hello at QuiltCon. We'll be manning the Quilts of Valor booth. Oh, very cool. Did you set Hawaii for sure? Yes. Contracts are signed. Hawaii is for sure. I mean, it was for sure anyway, just the contracts weren't signed and we hadn't picked the classes and stuff. Classes have been picked, dates have been set. Hawaii is for sure. Yep. Will you sell any of your magnifying glasses? Are you talking about the spot on dots? So I don't have a booth at QuiltCon. I won't be retailing my own stuff. There are quilt shops there, some of whom I know and are friends with. And so they might have some of my stuff. I don't know what they're bringing, what inventory they're bringing. That's always up to them. So maybe there will be some of the spot on dots there. I don't know. I don't bring anything to sell because I don't have a vendor license there. So it would be wildly inappropriate for me to sell things on the show floor. Anything that of mine that would be sold is going to get sold in one of the booths. Can I show the spot on dots? I think where is the closest that I have? Where's the nearest set of spot on dots? Oh, there's one right there. This is a set of spot on dots. And these haven't been washed lately, so they might not stick very well to the ruler. But the way that they work is that you put them on the ruler, and yeah, they've got that adhesive that if it gets, you want it, you wash it with soapy water and then it gets sticky again. Not very sticky right now. They need to be washed with because they've dried out. This that like kind of silicone-y, they're dusty and dried out. So you just wash it with warm soap and water and it'll be sticky again. And you put it on the ruler and you can see how much it magnifies and it sticks right on there. So that's a spot on dots. I'll hold it up if you want to do a screen capture of this. MV Stewart says, I just want to say how wonderful you are. Thank you. Did not know what to do with them. Yeah, you just stick them on your ruler and then they mark your spot. So like if you're cutting a bunch of 2-inch things, you put them on the 2-inch line and now you've got the 2-inch line marked, which is super handy. But also they're great because they actually, the purpose of them is to magnify whatever you are sewing or whatever line so that you can line it up better and see what you're doing. All right, got ahead of myself there. So that's what the spot on dot's for. Just magnifying lenses that stick right to the ruler. The spot on dot was actually the very first notion that I invented that came out. It's under the Gypsy Quilter brand. So it's made for me by Gypsy Quilter. And they make them and stock them and sell them to quilt shops on my behalf. And then just about everything else since then. No, that's not entirely true. So most of the notions that you know me for since then are notions that I make, have manufactured, and I sell to distributors and into quilt shops. With a couple exceptions, like the box bag die is an AccuQuilt die. Obviously, I'm not making an AccuQuilt die. I license that idea to them, and they make the die and sell it. Yeah, they're very handy dots. It's funny because there's some people who've known me for a long time and they even have the spot on dots and use them and love them and don't recognize that my name is right on there. And then one day they're looking at the box and they're like, wait, Carolina, they'll send me a picture. They'll say, is this you? Are you the Carolina Moore? Yes, I'm the Carolina Moore that designed those and invented those and came out with the idea. I've been using this for years. I had no idea it was you. I'm sneaky like that. LOL, yes, you are. You're cutting 6.5-inch squares for the Quilt of Valor signature blocks. Okay. Don't have an AccuQuilt. For big bulk projects like that, I love the AccuQuilt. Like if I'm just gonna put up some box corners, I won't pull out the AccuQuilt, but I have the AccuQuilt out on the table right now because you can see it. It's on the table over here. There we go. There it is. The big AccuQuilt. The big electric big. Because I was cutting so many box corners. And if I do them with a rotary cutter and ruler, I can cut 1 with usable fleece or 2 with fabric at a time. But when I do it on the AccuQuilt, I can cut through 4 corners. So I can just run it through the AccuQuilt twice and have all the corners cut for my bag. Boom, done. That easy. Yep. Cutting my sashing and border for the 2025 block of the month quilt. A little behind. That's okay. Totally fine. Get it done when you get it done. All right. Am I regretting taking on all these zipper pouches? A little bit. A little bit I am. Come on. There. But hey, you're doing it. Yes, I'm doing it. And I have today is Saturday. And I have Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday. And then I gotta be done. And I have so many things to get done. So many. This is just one of this. So many. I've gotten some other things done, like, putting rhinestones on timers. I got that done. That was clearly important stuff. They're really cute, though. They were so plain. We couldn't have plain timers. I don't want to do boring. And it's Matt Cox, and now she'll have a sparkly timer that will always remind her of me. And I'll have a sparkly timer that will always remind me of, the time I beat Matt Cox at Scavenger Hunt. Will I actually beat her? I have no idea. But, gotta get psyched up for a big win. All right. I've got all these labels. Some of y'all might recognize these labels from Advent Calendar. Just pulled all the labels that I thought might work, and I'm adding a label to each one of these zipper pouches. Because why not? It adds a little bit, it's like half an extra step. It's not a bunch of extra work. I just have to remember to tuck it in the right spot. And I think it just adds a little extra flair. Which makes it fun. And it's one of those things that I would usually forget. But not this time. Let's see. How many of those bags to make? I need to make at least 24. And I don't know how many guts I made. I think I made 30 guts. I just counted out a bunch of zippers. There's two different colorways. Oh, you want to see the mess. You don't see that mess. There's so much mess. Okay. So I have this XOXO colorway, and then I have this floral colorway. So I just have 2 more of the XOXOs to do. This one and then one more. And then I get to start moving into the floral colorway. So they're grooving along. Keep going. I had 5 done. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, this is my 6th while being on here. So about 5 minutes a piece to finish them up. It's been on my wish list for a year. I think I'm just going to bite the bullet. I don't think you'll regret that AccuQuilt. Working on QuiltCon badge holders for myself and 2 traveling companions. I'm hoping to bump into you. I hope you say hi if you see me. I'll be running around, causing chaos, being ridiculous, having a good time. QuiltCon's a good time. And so if you see me, come say hi. And yeah. Ooh. Should I? I need to go see if I have glitter box bag templates. Should I bring a glitter box bag template for the first person who finds me each day? I don't have it on the list right now. I'm guessing y'all are going to say yes. That would mean 4 glitter. I don't know if I have even 4 left. I'll have to look. All right. Let's do that right now. See? Distraction, but a good distraction. We should go into the back office where those are tucked away. Start back here. There we go. It looks like I do. These are like the last of the pink glitter box bag templates. 1, 2, 3. Yep. I think this is it. These are pink glitter box bag templates. This will be the last time that I'll be able to give these out, unless I get more made, which wasn't the plan to have more made. This will be it. All right, so I'm going to put these in my pile of things to bring with me. The first person to find me each day. I'm going to go turn off the light back here because no one needs the light on in here. And then I'm going to get a drink out of the fridge. As long as I'm up. Last iced tea. It's not really an iced tea. It's a kiwi strawberry fruit juice cocktail. Okay. Let me plug you back in to keep you charging so we don't run out of juice on the phone halfway through. Like that. Alrighty. Looking forward to meeting so many new people. QuiltCon is so much fun. This is an AccuQuilt bag from your die. Yeah, it's just a zipper pouch. And I cut the pouches themselves. I cut 6.5 inches tall by 8.5 inches wide. And then just did a 1.5 inch box corner and sewed it up. How's the list for the scavenger hunt coming along? Do you still need more ideas? Always more ideas. Throw them on there. I'm not in charge of actually curating that list. That's Angela's job. So she will do that. Do mature quilters attend QuiltCon, or is it mainly do amateur quilters attend QuiltCon, or is it mainly professionals? It is everybody. It's literally everybody. And everybody's welcome. And I mean, I don't know, like there's no club of like professional quilters. We don't all know one another. So when I walk by somebody and say hi, if I'm standing in line behind somebody at like as I'm shopping, because I shop too at QuiltCon, I will definitely be shopping at QuiltCon. I love shopping at QuiltCon. I don't like if I don't follow them on Instagram, then I don't know. Like, if I don't know who you are, then I just don't, like, you could be very, very, very famous. I just haven't come across you yet. And honestly, like, we're all quilters. Some of us, you know, it's what we do as our day job. But honestly, like professional quilters, you'd be shocked how seldom professional quilters actually get to quilt. We're spending a lot of our time doing like customer service emails or packing orders or designing, like so much computer design work, Um, whether it's like designing a fabric collection for the fabric designers or designing patterns for the pattern designers or designing notions, having conversations with the factories, checking in on the factories, checking in on the progress, checking in on shipping. Where is it? Is it going to arrive on time? I am launching something new on this upcoming Thursday. So last Thursday for my birthday, I launched the crown and tiara patterns. Do you have something new coming out this Thursday that will coincide with QuiltCon? Never done that before. If you know what I was working on last QuiltCon, you will have an idea of what it is. There's your big, huge hint. But yeah, we're just running around having a good time too, shopping. And chances are, like, our day job may be quilting related, but if you're a day job person, our day job is probably more mundane than whatever your day job is. Like, if you're a nurse, you have a way more exciting day job. We spend a lot more time in front of our computers. Probably, well, nurses at this point are spending a lot of screen time as well, but it's all just people there to have a good time. So, yeah. Oh, I'm glad you love the floral. Love your shirt. Wear one of your new tiaras and add bling to that to coordinate. I thought about it. I don't know if I'm gonna have time. And I don't have hot fix crystals. Like, these transfers were made, like, they're completely, I just like iron them on. All the crystals are in the spots they need to be. I don't have hot fix crystals to be able to put on a tiara. And so I'd have to figure out like what the right glue would be. I don't know. I'm not saying no, but and I don't know that I have the right colored crystals. I have some pink, but they're a lighter pink. I have like some iridescent ones that are really pretty. I bought purple ones specifically for Matt Cox's timer because she needed to have a purple. Of course, she needed to have, like, not that she told me, like, I decided she needed to have a purple timer because of course she needs to have a purple timer. And so then, since I didn't have purple crystals, of course I had to go and get purple crystals to put on Matt Cox's timer. All right. Scrapper Crafter says, see you in Raleigh. Yay. Oh, I was going to mention, I haven't yet. Okay. In the description of this video, I've posted it in other places, like on my Instagram and whatnot as well. In the description of this video, if you're going to QuiltCon, I have been working on and if you know someone going to QuiltCon, find the link, send it to them. Oh my gosh. Yeah. That was the last of the little XOs. And now I'm working on the floral ones. There were less of the XOs than there were of the floral ones. I'm not halfway, but still progress. Okay. What was I saying? In the description is a link to a Google sheet. It's just a spreadsheet, but I set it up to look kind of like a calendar. And I have been collecting all of the unofficial things to do at QuiltCon. So that would be the make and takes, the book signings, the some places will have like the same make and take all day long. I didn't include those, or they'll have the same demo going the whole day long. I didn't include those because if you walk by that booth at any time, you'll get the thing, and that's cool. But it's all the list of things that it's like, what? They were there at 1:00 and I could have gone, and like that would have been so awesome. Or there's like a couple swaps on there, like, oh, I wanted to do a swap. There's a pincushion swap that's happening on either Friday or Saturday. So I put that on there if you want to bring a pincushion and put in a bag to wrap up. And then you can swap the pincushion. Those kinds of things are all in that sheet. So that like if I would have known, I found out like an hour too late. No, I put them on that thing. So you can plan to attend the books. I love autograph books. So like the book signings, the demos of like the people you really like, the meet and greets. There's like a Swiftie meet and greet happening. And so if you're a big Swiftie and you want to like hang out with other quilty Swifties, it's all on that spreadsheet. And as I find out about more events, I'm adding them, which is why it isn't like a really pretty like Canva document, like poster that you can print out. Oh, did I put a label on this one? This one didn't get a label. All right, we'll put the label on the other side. It's fine. So it's designed like it's a living document. I keep adding to it as I find out about more things that are going on. And that way you like, even if you don't have any classes planned, you're just attending the show floor, you'll have, oh my God, like sometimes there's like 5 different things happening, like 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock on like Friday and Saturday. There's like 5 different things happening at the same time. So good luck with that. But it's so fun. So there's that. Anyway, the link is in the description of this video. And feel free to share it with anyone because that's what it's there for. Couple things that I have going on, like I'm doing a book signing in the Casey Maker Studio booth. And then I'm also doing there's going to be like 11 of the quilt trading cards designers at QuiltCon. And so they're not all available at the same time, but we set up 2 times. Like Krista Watson isn't available at either of the 2 times. So you have to go find her on your own because wasn't available because she's teaching classes. She goes to QuiltCon to teach. But there's a time, I think it's Friday afternoon at the Casey Meeker Studio or Saturday morning, I think it's like 9:30 at Web Fabrics. You can go and they'll can't even think. Whichever designers are available will be there. And so you can get some of your trading cards autographed. If you don't have the trading cards yet, they'll have them there that you can buy. If you have trading cards, bring them and you can get them autographed. So yeah. It's a bit harder to do the thumbs up button on live. Yeah, there's like 3 dots right here. You'd like press on those 3 dots, and that's how you get to the thumbs up. Wish you could come find me. There is a cocktail hour Thursday night. In like the mezzanine. I'm trying to remember which company is sponsoring it. I don't remember. All right, like the little floral one's done with. And I've been trying to put the tag on this side so you can hold onto the tag to close the zip, but this one gets the tag on the zip side because I forgot to put the tag on this side. It's fine. Still got a cute tag. Okay. You make it sound easy. I don't know what I'm making it sound easy, but I'm glad it sounds easy. It probably is. Missed the beginning. Will I have a table? I will not have a booth, but I will. I've got all kinds of things that I'm doing. I'm doing a make and take in the AccuQuilt booth twice. I'm doing a make and take each day in the Wonderfill booth. Twice I'm going to be in the Aliso booth, adding rhinestones to an iron, a little Aliso iron. Twice we're doing the quilt trading cards autographing. And then once I'm doing a book signing in the Casey Maker Studios booth. I think that might be all. I mean, on top of the other nonsense that I'm doing that I'm not like, Stay tuned. Make sure you're subscribed. Hit that subscribe button. Because I will be posting while there. So last year I had some nonsense, but I didn't get it posted till like a couple months later because life gets busy. And I think QuiltCon, like seeing QuiltCon stuff, is more interesting when QuiltCon is happening. So we are going to do that this year. Oh, I don't love this. Sorry. So I have this label. I think this was from one of the advent boxes, and it says handmade. But if I fold it in half like this, then the raw, like, there isn't enough to stitch it in. It's like the seam allowance is like they cut it in the wrong spot. So do I put it in and have the raw edges showing? I don't like that. I don't like these labels. I don't like them. Just gonna get rid of them. Never happened. What labels? Like, and you'll see like this one. See, it's folded, and then there's at least well over a 1/4 inch seam allowance before the thing. Volunteering the 17th to the 23rd, set up to tear down. I'm certain we'll bump into each other. Yay! I will be around being silly. I'll be there. So I will be posting probably either Tuesday or Wednesday. Might be Wednesday. I might put it up while I'm at the airport. Both here, so not as a video, but just as a community post, and on my Instagram, the places that I'll be, so that you can find me if you have those times free. You'll like the times that I'm stationary, so I'll be able to tell you at this time I'll be in this place. I will have those listed out, and the rest of the time I'm just gonna be running around being silly, spending money, talking to other quilters, getting in line to get some autographed books. Yep, that'll be fun. Cindy says, thanks for the calendar. You're welcome. So inspired by the quilts that were displayed 2 years ago. The quilts are amazing. I will definitely be walking through the quilts. If I don't have time, Sunday morning is like my most free time that I have. So I might just reserve that for time to walk through the quilts. Yep. Just finished the February apple cider block. Yay. I love that those blocks, the January, February blocks, are so big because your feet, like, you already have like a significant like bulk of the quilt done. You can really get into it. Do you happen to know where I could find a booth layout? Yes, because I've been putting together this calendar of events and I want to be able to put the booths, and not everyone has been telling me what they're like, oh, it's happening in this such and such booth, but they don't tell me the booth number. So I've had to look up the booth number. Where do you find that? QuiltCon has an app. An email came out about the app, so make sure you follow the instructions in the email, because I'm going to get it wrong, which is why you should follow the instructions in the email. But like, you want to act like you don't have an account already. Like when it says, even if you've used the app before, you pretend like you don't, if I remember right. Anyway, in the app, there is a map, and it'll show you where all the vendors are. So yes, look at that. Actual QuiltCon questions that I'm able to answer on the Ask Me Anything about QuiltCon. Yay. So that's where I found the map. Could it be elsewhere already as well? Maybe, but that was the only place that I've been able to find it. So that's what I've been using. Where did you say that was? I don't know which that, because I'm behind on comments. The QuiltCon app is for the map. If you say that, that being QuiltCon is happening in Raleigh this year. Hopefully one of those was the that you were looking for. If not, just ask with details and I'll be able to. Is it supposed to go to the dock when you touch it? So it's a link. It's like a really long link. and it should take you directly to the doc, the Google Doc. You were so nice. Mac will need to take you out to lunch for all the purple things. Mac's fun. She's good people. We'll have a good time. Bombarded with emails of my work schedule and downloading the QuiltCon app. There's a map of the Raleigh Convention Center. Yep, in the QuiltCon app. My husband is such a good sport. He paused our second Valentine's Day movie so I could pop in here. Oh, Hazel, that's so sweet of him. You can always watch play here too. Spend time with hubby. Hubby and I went to a Valentine's lunch today. We had tacos at a lovely little taco place in downtown. Have you started working on your next Advent template set yet? Nope, I have not. So I can give you no details about it because I have no details because I haven't started working on it yet. I'm still not entirely sure. I'm behind on so many things. I've got like a bajillion things I need to work on. And that one doesn't have to, like I usually start it in January. At this time, normally I would know. This is not that year. I have so many things. And then QuiltCon. And then come back to so many things. I'm trying to get a little bit ahead on some stuff so I can give myself some breathing room. So I've been trying to get ahead on some videos. I have like a dozen videos that I want to record tomorrow. See if I get that done. I've got some stuff with pattern testers and some stuff that's about to go to pattern testers. So progress. Social hour with Wyndham Fabrics, 5:30 to 7:30. That is the happy hour that we were talking about. Yes. Oh wow, it just hit me. Might any of the quilters be at the AQS Quilt Show in Daytona next weekend? I'll be in Florida visiting family. Maybe, I don't know, but I'm going to be in QuiltCon in Raleigh. Cynthia says, want to drop a hint about which? I've been dropping so many hints. I showed you my shirt that no one else has seen yet. Want to drop a hint? I've given y'all some hints. I've told you that something's coming out on Thursday, and I've given you a hint about what that is too. I'm like the hintiest of hinters. Okay. When are your next cards coming out? They are, I'm hoping to get final approval by Monday. And if that happens, then I should be able to have them come out in March. Fingers crossed. So working on them. That's one of the things. Those have already been tested. Those have already gotten pattern tested. So this is for the QuiltCon app for Android. Yeah, I have an Android. So I don't know about iPhone. I don't know about iOS. I have an Android and I did the QuiltCon app on my Android. Oh, thanks, Scrappy Crafter. Thank you for the postcard at Quilt Block. Can you copy that? No. I don't love the way this one turned out. All right, we're going to set this one aside. Maybe rip that one out and deal with it later. I saw that when I did it too. I was like, I'm not going to love that. And sure enough, I don't love it. So we're going to set it aside. Okay. Here's an answer that will be okay. So no, it is copyrighted, so you don't have the rights to make a copy. However, if you know someone who would like it, if you go to my blog, which is alwaysexpectmore, more has two O's.com. So alwaysexpectmore.com. One of the recent posts is about the Snowflake Quilt Block. If they click on that, they can put their email address in and sign up for my email list. And that's the only, it went out to my email list already. So, and it's in a different spot in the Dropbox. So if they want to access it, they can. They just put their email address in and it will get emailed to them that way. So they just sign up there. It's that block is not in the regular monthly free block library. It's a special separate thing, but it's free to email subscribers. So they go to alwaysexpectmore, more with 2os.com. They find the snowflake block quilt post and they sign up for it there. They can get, and they'll have a really nice copy of it because it'll be one page with both the front and back on that page. And it won't have like, and it's all in color. It'll be nice. It'll be a nice copy. So that's going to be the best. It's QuiltCon in Georgia next year. So yes, next year QuiltCon is in Atlanta, Georgia. You want to do a dozen videos in one day. Yeah, that's fine, right? Just record a dozen videos. That's normal. Totally do that. Will it actually get them all done? I don't know. I don't know. It all depends on how much prep I'm able to get done on them ahead of time. Because most of them are just block videos, like how to make this block. It's for the next quilt trading cards. I want to have those, the making of the block already recorded. And I have the fabric already starched. And so my goal is to finish these today and then press and cut that fabric for those blocks. And then have it ready to go for tomorrow so that I can just sew up those blocks and be done. Because the blocks have been tested, but I want to give them one more test before I go to print. So I'm going to test them by recording them for the video. And then I have 2 bag videos that I want to do. We'll do those tomorrow as well. I don't think I'll be able to get to them today. And then that's 11. Oh, and then I need to do the launch video that needs to go up on Thursday for the new thing that I'm not telling you any more hints about that's launching on Thursday. And that launch video, I mean, that's a quick video because I'm not doing any tutorials or anything in that video. So that one won't take too long. That will take like 30 minutes to record. And the block video should take like 90 minutes each to record. And there's 9 of them. So it's 9, like 12 hours. Maybe it won't, maybe it won't take quite that long. It shouldn't take 12 hours. Yeah, if I get in here at like 9 and I work until like midnight, that's like 15 hours. I don't know if it's enough for 12 videos. We're going to try anyway. Mini out of this year. I done it out of the Art Gallery Fabrics Christmas fabric. I've always like picked 8 fabrics from the Art Gallery Fabrics Christmas line. Can I ask you a question? I've been working on a quilted jacket and I'm ready for bias binding. How do I figure out how much fabric I need? Yeah. There's calculators for that. So I don't know. Just buy like a yard and a half and go for it. That's not a great answer. Looking forward to the next trading card set. My faraway quilty friends finally had their Christmas party, so I can share that all of them got your trading cards for Christmas. That's fun. I love that. Yes, we have more trading cards in the works. I have the next 2 rounds in the works now already. This current round has already been tested, and I'm just waiting on final approvals from those involved. And the next round has been designed and is with testers. So or working on them. Because I have to get ahead on those. So I'm not feeling quite so like, oh, I know we want to get another one out. If I get ahead on them, then we can have like a actual like schedule of how frequently they'll come out. But I have to get ahead on them first. Can't be behind and try to keep a schedule. That does not work. Want to use that block for a Valor sew along the snowflake block? That's like, it's kind of an intense block for a sew along. I mean, I'd say try making it first. There's a lot of little pieces on that one. It's easy to get wonky on that block. It's not like it's more of an intermediate block than a beginner block. And when I think like blocks for sew alongs, I think things that are simpler. Okay. All right. Bye, Pat. All right. Moving along on these zipper pouches. It is some good mindless sewing. As long as I remember to put in the tag. It's not fully mindless though, because I have to remember to move that zipper and put in that tag. But I've done pretty well. The single snowflake quilt block. Yes, that's the single snowflake quilt block that I made it into a postcard and shipped out because I've been doing that every year since I first started having my shop. And traditions are fun. All right. It's easier to line things up when you make faces, I'm convinced. You will not unconvince me. Some of these things are just facts. What are the pouches for? The pouches are for something at QuiltCon, and that's all the details that I've provided. I don't have any plans to provide any more details other than that. So I'm doing something with these at QuiltCon, and for that I need a bunch of these pouches. So spent a good chunk of yesterday figuring out the measurements that I wanted, picking out my fabrics, fusing the fusible fleece on the back of the outer fabric, cutting all the pieces to size, then using my box bag die on the AccuQuilt. All of it like different. This one says banger. I don't think you can read it. Some of them have the same label because I had more than one of that label. Some of them have different labels. Yeah, cutting all the box corners, sewing all the box corners, and then sewing them all onto zippers. And then 5 of them got finished. And then I said to myself, you know what? I'm going to sew until midnight. And then that's how far I'm going to get tonight. And then I thought, I wonder what time it is right now, thinking it was like maybe 11. And it was 1 a.m. So I was like, well, I guess that means I'm done. And I stopped. I might have finished one more, and then I stopped. "2026 Art Gallery Christmas line" is, I don't remember off the top of my head what it looks like, but they always do a good job, and I think this year is their in-house designers again. So I think it's, if I remember right, it goes with like the Christmas in the Cabin and the Christmas in the City lines. Because 2025 was Caterina Rochella, and they usually go back and forth between one of their designers and an in-house line. Unless I had Maureen Cracknell do it this year, because Maureen has done a really pretty Christmas line in the past, and she hasn't done one in a couple of years. It's been Caterina Rochella's Christmas lines. But I have not gotten far enough to like really dive deep into Advent stuff. Too many other deadlines. I know I've seen it though. I was looking for something. Oh. Sorry, I'm peeking over at, I have a thing that's in the background of when I do the Advent videos that shows how many subscribers, and I'm at 95.9K. So if you'll go ahead and hit that subscribe button wherever it is, it might be under the 3 dots or it might be right here. I forget. Hit that subscribe button. I would love to get us to that 100K. And then I can check that off my to-do list of in 2026, I will hit 100K, and then I can just get it done. Be like, yep, I did that. We made it. Accomplished. Doesn't mean I'll stop posting on YouTube by any stretch. I'll still keep it up. But it'd be nice to hit that goal. Not that many quilting YouTube channels are able to get to 100,000. It's a pretty big deal. So, oh, nose is itching. Christmas in color. Yep. Okay. Yep. Oh, Maureen Cracknell, so talented. Caterina Rotella, so talented. Sharon Holland, again, also so talented. They have some really, like what, Katie O'Shea and Susie Quilts has some really pretty stuff with them as well. Art Gallery has some really talented designers. Oh, come here. There we go. That's perfect. Just trying to pick out labels to go with the bags. This one, I don't know if you can will see. It's got this like lime green kind of color on the zipper, and I've got this bright label from this year's Kylie and the Machine label advent. So having the label kind of go with the zipper is fun. Show you the bag when it's done. I love the apple cider calendar. The shipping was prompt too. We usually ship out twice a week, depending on what else is going on. And so it's usually gets packed up Tuesday, Thursday, and then goes to the post office either Wednesday or Friday, like then the next day. Because shipping happens at the end of the day. So the post office is usually closed by the time shipping gets done, and it's often my son who's packing up the orders. And then it's me who takes things to the post office the next day. And I know that you can get them to come pick up your stuff, but they usually would come to pick up when I'm picking up my other kiddo from school. And that doesn't work. So it's just easier for me to drop things off at the post office. So I do. That's what I do. I'm curious how you got connected with Art Gallery Fabrics. Is there a story about that? There is a story about that. So I started working in a quilt shop. It was like, I want to say it was like 2009, maybe 2010. Can't remember if it was 2009 or 2010. I started working in a quilt shop and I already had a blog and I did like craft stuff on my blog. If you go back to like always expect more and you go like all the way back, because I've not gone through and purged all the old posts, which I probably should do someday, but it was time for that and nobody looks at them anyway, so it's fine. But there's like scrapbooking, some scrapbooking and card making stuff, and I did a lot of like crafty things. I've been a quilter since I was 12. So is some sewing and quilty type things, but quilting content takes longer to make than like, it takes a lot longer to make a quilt or even a zipper pouch than to make a card. Well, depending on the card. Some people make some really amazing cards. So that's not entirely true. But the kinds of cards that I was making, simple cards. Anyway, so I already had a blog and did some like social media stuff, and I worked with some like crafting brands, and then I got the job at the quilt shop and was working with them and wanted to get more into quilting. And then I found out that like I'd applied to do things like I'd applied to be on design teams for different companies and gotten rejected. And I'd applied like, I don't know if you've been quilting for a while, you might remember that Moda had a really cool site called Moda Bake Shop where they had all kinds of like people who had made um they had so many blog posts of these different like designs, patterns on Moda Bake Shop. And so I had like submitted some stuff to magazines and to Moda Bake Shop, got rejected, bunch of rejections. But also my kids, I mean, I didn't have my second kiddo yet, and my oldest was still really young. So like it's not like I had a ton of time. And then working a full-time job at the quilt shop and raising the kiddo, like that's a lot. So Art Gallery was doing this contest, and Art Gallery was still a smaller company at the time. But the quilt shop I worked at carried Art Gallery fabrics. So they had this contest. It was a whole year-long contest, and it happened. It was 2012. The year was 2012, and they had this contest um, of it was a year long, and every single month, it's a lot of sorry. It was a year-long contest, and every month there was a different project. So it was like a crossbody bag or a quilt as you go table runner. I'm trying to remember. It was just like a softie, I think was one of them. They had all different kinds of things. An apron was one of them. And so every month there was a theme. And if you wanted to play along, you made a project. And at there was a winner every single month. And then at the end of the whole year, like they would pick like an ultimate winner, and the ultimate winner got the certain sewing machine. And I really wanted a new sewing machine. And also I wanted to catch the eye of Art Gallery Fabrics. So I played along every single month and submitted a project every single month. And I won a couple of the months. I did not win the big overall prize. But after it was over, I reached out to them and said, hey, would you like some samples made for market? I'd love to make some samples for you. And they said, yes, absolutely. We'd love that. And they sent me fabric, and I made samples for, I think, 2 or 3 different markets for them. And one of the products that I made for them got picked up and put into a magazine. And because I was then, for the first time I ever published in a magazine, I was able to get credentialed to get into Quilt Market. It was part of my credentialing for Quilt Market, like being published in there's like, you have to hit like 2 or I think 3 of like a list of requirements, and being published in a magazine was one of those potential requirements. So I was able to check off one. I need a letter from a company, which I got that as well. And I needed a website, which I already had the blog. So I think those were the 3 that I used to get into Quilt Market. And so I went to Quilt Market and I got to know Pat, just showing up year after year. Pat's one of the owners. Pat and her husband, Walter, are the owners. Pat was the very first designer for Art Gallery. So I got to know Walter and Pat, really Pat a lot in those early years. And I did more work with them. And yeah, that's how it started. 2012. So that'd be 14 years ago. That's the story of me and Art Gallery. What am I doing here? Is this like an existential question? Like, what am I doing with my life? Or like, what am I working on right now? Or like, why am I on YouTube right now? Or why am I on YouTube in general? I can answer some of those questions, probably not all of them. So what I'm working on right now is I'm finishing up these zippered pouches for QuiltCon. I'm not telling you what I'm doing with the zippered pouches at QuiltCon because that's still secret. You have to subscribe and watch along because there definitely is stuff happening with these pouches at QuiltCon. But I'm not telling you what. Someone asked, I forgot to answer. I did see someone asked if I was doing gift pocketing again this year. And I'm not answering that one either because I gotta keep stuff secret. I'm definitely not gift pocketing these. I'm not tucking pouches into people's bags without them knowing. So these are not being gift pocketed. I can tell you that. I feel a little weird, I think. I don't know. Maybe what I already did was weird. It probably was. Anyway, here's some plans for these pouches. But first I gotta make them all. Oh dear. Okay. 14 years. Yep. So 14 years ago, I started the relationship with Art Gallery Fabrics. Pat wants to know, has Art Gallery always had that special feel? Yes. How long have you been a part of QuiltCon? 0 years. I have never been a part of QuiltCon. I have never entered a quilt in QuiltCon. I don't do competition quilts really much anymore. I've thought about entering in QuiltCon, but I haven't. I've never entered a quilt in QuiltCon, which means I definitely have never had a quilt accepted in QuiltCon, because if you don't enter, you cannot get accepted. I do not help run the show. I was a volunteer one year. I did volunteer one year. So I suppose that was the first Phoenix year. So it's like 3 years ago. So once 3 years ago, I was a part of QuiltCon because I volunteered. I have applied to teach once. And they did not accept me as a teacher. They have so many incredible people who apply to teach though, that are my feelings a little hurt? Always, because you always want to be picked and it's always a bummer when you're not picked, but also like they have so many incredible people who are teaching at QuiltCon and they're picking for a lot of things for a lot of reasons. So it's probably not personal. It could be, but I doubt it. So I've never taught at QuiltCon. I I've had a vendor badge at QuiltCon a couple times because I work with various vendors and like if I'm doing make and takes or demos, sometimes they'll get me a vendor badge, which is nice of them. So in that way, I guess I've kind of been a part of QuiltCon a couple times in the past. But like I'm attending as an attendee. I paid to show up and go. I just think it's fun. It has a different energy than a lot of quilt shows. Many of my friends who are professional quilters and friends who are hobby quilters are going to QuiltCon, so it's a good chance to like get to see a bunch of my friends. Some of y'all are going who are my friends as well, and I get to see some of you. There's a lot of the companies that I work with that are there, so it gives me another chance to connect with them and chat with them about future shenanigans. And then I hang out in various booths and do like make and takes. So I'm doing the Pincushion make and take in the Wonderful booth. I'm doing the in the AccuQuilt booth, we're going to do an English paper piecing make and take. So we're going to do that together. Yeah, we're just going to have a good time. So I'm not really a part of QuiltCon. I'm an attendee who like shenanigans. And then last year I hired a videographer to follow me around a little bit so that I could get it's so hard to get footage of me on camera when like at a show unless you have someone else walking around. And a lot of people who do what I do have like a husband or a boyfriend or a business partner or a sibling who will record their video of them. And I have a husband and I don't have a business partner. But I have a husband and I have siblings and I have children, but none of them are going to follow me around and video me. So last year I hired somebody to follow me around and video me that I could turn into fun content. And we might be doing some of that again this year as well. Maybe. We'll see. How many zipper pouches am I making? It's like 30-ish. I don't know. We'll count here in a second. I picked out like basically all the zippers that I had that went with these two fabrics. So all of like the teal and blue kind of zippers and green went with this one. And then all the browns and creams went with the other fabric. And then I just made a bunch. I know I needed a couple dozen. And then I'm gonna make more. Because you're never sad to have extra zipper pouches. And based on what I'm bringing to QuiltCon, I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be able to. Sorry, it's really funny. I'm pretty sure that I'm gonna be able to like go there with like 3 suitcases and come back with 1 suitcase inside the other suitcase because I'm gonna have a lot less stuff. Let's see. Can't wait to hear about your experience. I wish I could make it. I will be sharing a ton here on YouTube. A ton. It's part of the shenanigans. So make sure that you're subscribed. Make sure you're subscribed. Do you know if AccuQuilt is offering any specials during the show? So, a fun fact that at big shows like this, and this goes for like AQS and Rusty Barn and all of those shows, most of the big brands, so big brands would be like, the big fabric companies or the sewing machine companies or like AccuQuilt. Most of them, when you see the booth there at the show, there will be representatives from that brand there. So like people from the corporate office, most often, not all, but usually, yeah. I would say almost, it'd be hard not to have someone from the brand there. But the people who are actually running the register is usually a local quilt shop. And this gets into like the technical stuffs of like being at a show and running a booth. If I live in California, if I were to go have a booth in Raleigh, I'd have to set up sales tax for whatever the Raleigh local sales tax is, and I'd have to pay sales tax to Raleigh based on what I sold that day because I'm selling in their city. Which is another reason that I don't sell on the show floor. First of all, it's wildly inappropriate if you don't have a booth to sell stuff on the show floor through like your own credit card system or whatever. That's inappropriate. But secondly, I would have to pay sales tax to Raleigh. And I don't like if you're going to do a bunch of sales, it makes more sense. If you're just going to do a couple sales, then no. So one of the things that you need is a resale license and all that. So most of the big companies, like the sewing machine companies and the fabric companies, they don't want to have a resale license because they're not resellers. They don't sell to the end user generally. They sell to the shop who sells to the end user. So it's usually a local shop who is running that booth. So I don't know if the show specials would be decided on between AccuQuilt and the shop, or if the shop is deciding what their specials are. So I don't know. I don't work for AccuQuilt. And I don't even know which shop it is that's doing their booth with them. But then there's some companies at QuiltCon, like Art Gallery Fabrics will be there, Moda will be there, and I know those two companies, they're not selling anything. Like you can't go to the Art Gallery booth and buy Art Gallery fabrics. They don't want to compete with the shops that are vendors there. They just want to have, it's like a marketing thing for them to be out and talking to the people who love and use their fabric every day. So, yeah, which is why it makes it such a different show, because you don't see like Moda and Art Gallery at any of the other quilt shows just trying to do marketing. So it's just, yeah, it adds to the fun vibe. Shenanigans are always the best. I hope so. You aren't just an attendee, you're an attendee with a following of almost 100,000 followers, just saying. Yeah, but also I'm just an attendee. Like I'm just like, I pay to go just like anybody else. Like if the QuiltCon people see me on the show floor, like I don't have a vendor badge. I don't have a teacher badge. I have the same badge that gets me into the show that any of y'all would have if you walked into the show. I mean, unless you guys are vendors or teachers, in which case you would have a vendor or teacher badge. I have an attendee badge. And I would say like I'm experiencing the show the same way that you are, except that I'm not, because I have shenanigans planned. But you could plan shenanigans. Like there's no like nothing stopping you from planning shenanigans. You know. So shenan, you shenan and then you shenan again. You need to sign those pouches inside. That would be. I thought about like I should have like my own labels and then like put my own label on there. I have some of like my labels, but they're from a long time ago, like back when I was like baby blogger. So I did not put those labels on there. I thought about it, but I did not. If you have a CPA, they might not enjoy it if you did sales all over the country. Well, I mean, the CPA's job is to do my business the way my business is running, right? So it's not my job to make, it's not, I'm not in business to make my CPA happy in terms of like, yes, we want to do things the right way, but if I'm going to, make some money by selling in another state, then I'm going to go to another state. Yep. Pat says, I know at the AQS show in Dayton is having AccuQuilt deals, but is a local shop doing it. Yes. Okay. I'm going to come over here and not burn myself on the iron. We're going to count how many pouches we've got. And then we have a little bit more to do. And then we'll be done. All right. That's 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll just do like that's the 5. 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 15. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 21. And I needed at least 24. So actually, I ended up doing pretty close to what I needed. There we go. This is what I have left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I've got a dozen left. So I'm about 2/3 of the way through finishing the little zipper pouches. And here, I'm going to flip you over. So here they are. I started like setting them up all nicely, and then I was like, no, they're just in stacks. Then I say that's 21 plus 12, so it's 33. Oh, Daytona Beach. 12 more. About 2/3 of the way through. Yeah, I said about 2 hours to finish these, so it's pretty close to right. Just keep swimming. Just keep swimming. Keep swimming, swimming, swimming. Then they'll be done. Well, then I have to do a next step with them, but I'm not showing you the next step. This is secret. Because I've got to make some decisions. I'm not entirely sure what I'm doing. I know some of it. And some of it is like based on, seat pants. Hmm. Hmm. Some teeny tiny labels. I'm putting 2 labels in this one. Let's see if I like it. I don't know. I might have to dig through my labels and see if there's others. I think I have some packs of labels that I can grab. Because I have these like thanks I made it labels that would work, except that like I'm giving it to someone and now they have a pouch that says thanks I made it. So when someone says cute pouch, they can't say thanks I made it because they're not the ones who made it. So it feels weird. If thanks I made it feels like a label that you put on like your own thing. That other people are like, oh, that's so cute. And you go, thanks I made it. So I don't like putting thanks I made it on something that I'm giving someone else. It just feels weird. Oh, you know what? I can pull labels. I pulled labels out of my bin of labels, which is what was the bin of labels? Oh, it's over there. It's like just a divider thing that I had all my labels in before. But then I have to wander around for a second. But then I made my label organizer and I put them all in my label organizer. And I thought, well, I'll take ones out of the bin of labels because those are ugh, the bin of labels aren't being like used for anything. Like they're not on display. They're like I kind of want to like go through some of them. Anyway, but here's a label organizer, which is a pattern. And so I can pull some of these off. Let's do these ones. Those aren't folded labels. I'm trying to look for like folded labels. These parts are cute. Some more of those parts because we'll do them with the handmade. Some more double layer labels. These are Minky Kim, these rotary cutters, they're cute. And like those ones that say my best work yet. Oh, this is my best work yet. These ones say 50% ye, 50% ha. Really cute. All right, that should be enough labels. All right. The thanks I made it is from Sarah Hart's. It's a Sarah Hart's label. Done is such a beautiful 4-letter words. Yes. Who wouldn't want a Carolina Moore signed bag? You could be the next Laura Bradley. These are just for fun. Are you going to the Three Amigos quilt retreat? I am not. I don't have any plans to go to the Three Amigos quilt retreat. You're a champ in my eyes. Thank you. Done is such a beautiful 4-letter word. We will not tell your secret. Uh-huh. I want to thanks my mother-in-law made it. That's cute. Oh. Okay. All right. I'm done with this one. 11 to go. Final countdown. Is it 3:44? This is 3:37 on the clock. My sewing machine has a clock on it, but I never change it, so pretty close. And after this, I have to iron fabric. Hoping to make a couple more bags today. Like bags, not like tote bag type bags. Not not like zipper pouches. In fact, I don't think any of the bags that I want to make. I might put a zipper in one of them. Probably not. I mean, it would be nice with a zipper, but it's so much more work. And I don't know. I might just put a regular pocket. You know what? I might put just a regular pocket in it. That would be a nice addition. Just add a pocket. Okay. Because a bag that has a pocket on it becomes just like so much more like useful. Almost with the rotor cutter in the rotor cutter label upside down. That would have been a lot of these labels are like sideways, like the hearts and stuff. It would have been funny to have the rotary cutter upside down though. That would have been hilarious. Not as intended, but definitely hilarious. Oh, bobbin's almost out. Let's see how far I can get with this bobbin. Then I'm going to show you one of my favorite bobbin hacks. Gonna keep yelling at me. Bobbin is low. But how low? Like, can I make it all the way around? Let's play that. Let's play some bobbin chicken. Okay, I did put a label on this one. We're good. Nope. I ran out of bobbin. I lost the bobbin chicken. It ended right there, and I needed to get to there. I lost bobbin chicken by like 6 inches. Okay. Bobbin hat. These are Wonderfill pre-wound bobbins, and they have Deco Bob, which is finer thread than the regular like 12 or hold on, let's say. Like we usually use like 40 weight, 50 weight for piecing. It's usually 40. And Deco Bob is 80 weight. So that means you can fit more Deco Bob on the same size bobbin. So it's a hack for having like a bigger bobbin, or because you can fit more yards of thread on it because the thread is thinner, right? Also, they're pre-wound. So I don't have to wind a bobbin. I just grab it out of the pack, pop it in the machine, and I'm ready to go. So I buy them already wound. Like when I do my bobbins, I pre-wind a bunch of them for myself, and I have a bunch sitting on the top of the machine that are pre-wound. But when I was at Road to California, Wonderfill was there. They will also be at QuiltCon. But when I was at Road to California, Wonderfill was there, and they had the pre-wound bobbins, and so I bought a couple packs because, first of all, I don't usually fill my bobbins with Deco Bob, so my bobbins don't generally have as that many yards of thread on it, and they They're pre-wound. So there's your super fast quilting hack. Wonderful pre-wound bobbins. They come in different colors too. Like I have here, I've got two colors. I've got cream and gray. We like it. Gotta go. Good luck and good night. Thank you. Caroline and all here. What's the most challenging step in making a pouch? What's the most satisfying step? The last snip doesn't count. Most challenging step in making a pouch? Remembering to open the zipper. Because if you like, as you saw, if you watched the beginning, the first one that I didn't open the zipper and I had to go back and open it up. So remembering to open that zipper halfway. That's, I think, the most challenging. It's not like making a zipper pouch is not hard. And yes, I mean, I have made hundreds of them, but also I think people are afraid of doing a zipper. But modern day zippers are nylon, like the teeth are nylon, so you can sew right over them. Back in the day, if you sewed wrong and you hit the teeth with your needle, you'd break a needle, and that's a whole pain in the butt because the you feel like breaking a needle, you have to like change the needle and rethread the machine. It's such a pain to break a needle. And so when the teeth were all metal teeth, I think that was a bigger deal. But nowadays, usually the only metal part on a zipper is, I mean, sometimes the zipper pull, which you're always putting out of the way because it's big and bulky. And then this spot right here. I've broken a needle on this spot right here. But like one of my tricks you can see here is I use a zipper that's way bigger than my pouch. And that way I don't have to move this out of the way because it's out of the way already. And I don't have to worry about hitting this because I'm going to be cutting it off. So I just use, I buy like big packs of like 100 zippers, like different colors off Etsy. And then I have more than all the zippers that I need. I'm due for buying some more zippers. I went through like all my greens and all my blues and most of my creams. I don't know what colors are left. I didn't have any pinks left because I've used all my pinks. I don't even know what colors are left in there. But yeah, it's time for me to buy another pack of zippers. And like having them nice and long is nice. Because you can just trim off the excess. There are some people who like to have like the perfect size zipper and they like to put a tab at the beginning and end of the zipper, which is totally an option. You totally can do it. And it looks really nice and finished if you get them done. If I had to put zipper tabs on all my zippers, my zipper pouches wouldn't get done. So I don't have zipper tabs on the end of my pouch, on the ends of my zippers. I've done it like to show that like this is how you can do it, but I just like making them and having them done. Like no one's gonna turn their nose up at the zipper pouch because, well, it doesn't have zipper tabs on the end, so this pouch is not really for me. And you know what? Maybe I don't know. Maybe someone would do that, and if they do, then that's their choice. And then the pouch is not for them, and I hope they gift it to someone who will enjoy it. Because if you don't like my pouch, I don't want you to have it. That's fine. Don't take it. It's not for you then. Oh, almost forgot to open up the zipper. Didn't I just say that that was the trickiest part? There you go. Extra bobbins for my machine are so expensive. I'd be afraid to think how much pre-wound ones would cost. Yeah, I mean, it can be pricey. I honestly don't remember the cost of these. But like the plastic bobbins themselves are not disposable. So now I can use those bobbins and wind them myself. And now I have more bobbins because I've been losing my bobbins. I don't know where they've been going. I needed more like empty bobbins anyway. And so this is two birds. The pre-wound deco bobbins are also great for English paper piecing. Throw them in your English paper piecing bag, and then you can make stuff. because 80 weight deco bob is great for most paper piecing. Come here. Sorry if I forgot a label. I wonder if one of these bags doesn't have a label and I just forgot. Could have happened. No one will know that it was supposed to have a label, right? What's that? It's not been stitching this whole time. I don't know why. The machine probably needs to be cleaned after all the sewing that I've been doing. That's my guess. Rethread that bobbin. All right. Let's try this again. Oh, there's a label sitting there wanting to be sewn in. It takes longer, Caroline, when you have to sew it twice. In fact, if you have to sew it twice, it takes twice as long. That's some complex math there. All right. Take two. All right, looks like it's actually sewing this time. We like it when it actually sews. Okay. Haven't been keeping track of this dozen. That a dozen left, and I don't know how many I've done from that dozen. At least 3, maybe 4. Super cute pouches. Thank you. On the 70s, zippers were a pain. I'm so scared to do them, and I don't know why they're easy to do. Call it zipper trauma. Yeah, and sometimes if you didn't have a good zipper foot, or if the person teaching you was impatient, right? Like when you're learning to drive, if you have a great driving instructor, no problem. If you have someone who's anxious and nervous and stressed the whole time, you're gonna be anxious and nervous and stressed. So see if your quilt shop has a class. Deb Reed is back. She had to go do some things. Nice to see we're still going. Yes, we are. Hanging out with you is great for my stress level. Oh, I'm glad. I love that. I've got a little further to go. Almost there. I lose bobbins all the time also. They grow legs and walk away. I keep the bobbins here, you're gonna see this giant mess over here. But I keep bobbins here on the sewing machine. There's a little kind of tray-ish thing there. I don't know if that's what it's designed for, but that's where I put them. But the trash can is just on the other side on the floor there. So I have a feeling that they just yeet themselves into the trash sometimes. And off they go. So that's okay. They're just little plastic bobbins. And then it gives me an excuse to buy pre-wound ones. Oh, darn. Silver linings. Now, back when I used to make zipper pouches, when I guess when I still make them. When I first started making zipper pouches, that's a better way to start that sentence. When I first started making zipper pouches, I would hand stitch the bottom closed with a ladder stitch. Now, I just stitch across that bottom, and then it's closed. Clip off any loose threads. Because who's inspecting the inside bottom of your pouch? Who? Because they need to stop it. There's going to be stuff in the pouch, right? You put stuff in a pouch. Do you go looking inside there for a seam? No. If you're really stressed about it, you can always tuck it in the side, put the hole in the side instead. if you think that like having it at the very bottom is going to be really obvious. But there we go. Zipper pouch. Done. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, I'm gonna put these 5 aside. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I've got 9 left. I only did 3 and 4. Okay. Keep going. If you're missing a label, that's the one you sign on the inside. Sorry, I missed. Why had it stopped sewing? Not enough thread. No, I think that the bobbin area of the machine's a little dirty, and so maybe when it got cut, that little end piece kind of got tucked in there, and I wasn't able to grab it. That's my best guess. I wasn't paying attention clearly because I went almost all the way around the zipper pouch before I realized it. But that's my best guess because I had put in the new bobbin and I'd already sewn with it twice and it was fine. So I'm thinking usually it's that your machine needs to be cleaned kind of situation. Almost always when my machine's not behaving the way that I think it should, I clean it and then it's like, oh, look, see, I'm behaving again. So it was a me problem. Right? It's like, I can't find anything in my house. Well, if you cleaned your house, oh, look, now you can find things again. Yeah, it's a me problem. I have some more questions. I'm not a fan of sewing zippers. Someone was supposed to teach me. Maybe if I found a class. Classes would be great. Like a little zippered pouch class. I have videos on making zipper pouches. I have lots of videos on making zipper pouches and different ways to make zipper pouches and different orders to sew your zipper pouch. Box bottom zipper pouches. Those are my favorite. And it's not scary. And like zipper pouches are really forgiving because you don't have to be perfect at all. Okay, does this one have a label? Yes, it does. Okay. I'll show you. I'll show you how imperfect these zipper pouches are, and you can't tell when they're turned right side out. Because it already has dimensions, so it doesn't need to lay flat. All right. So I kind of folded the zipper in half here on the end. And see how you can see that darker teal? This is because the seam allowances didn't match up. I don't know why. It just happens sometimes. Also, I didn't fold it perfectly in half. You can actually, the zipper teeth are over here. It's fine. This one, the zipper teeth are not perfectly lined up on the other side. I'll turn it right side out and you'll see what impact that has. So I cut off the extra zipper because I find it's easier to use longer zippers and then just trim off the edges. It's like this was an 8.5 inch, like 6.5 by 8.5 inch pouch. What size zipper am I gonna? I don't care. I just use like a 12-inch zipper and cut off the extra. Where do you get the pre-wound bobbins? I got them from the wonderful booth at the quilt show when I went to the Road to California quilt show, but your local quilt shop should be able to carry them. These pouches are super cute. What size are they? I cut a 6.5 inch by 8.5 inch rectangle. Well, 4. I put fusible fleece on the back of the outer fabric, and then I cut 2 6.5 tall by 8.5 wide rectangles. 2 of the outer that has the fusible fleece, and then 2 of the lining. So 4 rectangles, 6.5 by 8.5. Okay. So remember how it wasn't folded perfectly in half? It's fine. Remember how these 2 edges didn't line up exactly? It's fine. They're pretty forgiving. All right, I still need to close the hole on this one though. It's a zipper pouch. It's just as long as it zips open and closed. And you get better at them as you go. When you've made a bajillion. I don't usually make this. I think this might be the most that I've made. I'm almost for certain that this is the most I've ever made all at once. And then it has a little heart label. This one says Matchy Matchy. I think that one might be a Minky Kim one, if I remember right. So yeah, this would be good for gosh, all kinds of things. You could put quilt trading cards in here. Be a great quilt trading cards collecting pouch. It's a little bigger than you need for that. It's great for a little English paper piecing kit. Could totally put an English paper piecing kit in here. What else could you put in here? A little bit of makeup, like a credit card IDs. Depending on if you're a big makeup user, just like touch up makeup things in here, a little sewing kit for travel. If you have not gone through the big change yet, it'd be great for like sanitary products. I think what else could like a good little size zipper pouch for throwing all those like bits and bobs, like the pens and the safety pins and the whatever that falls into the bottom of your purse. The lip gloss, the chapstick, couple quarters, business cards. It'd be great for like carrying business cards around in. Um, Stickers. A lot of people at QuiltCon are swapping stickers. There's a lot of swaps that happen at QuiltCon. So like sticker swapping, bag. It's perfect. Teenage makeup bag. Yeah, I mean some teenagers wear a ton of makeup. So depending on the teenager. Someone who knows they have flawless skin and treats their skin like it's flawless, definitely. A little bit of sunscreen, lip gloss, mascara. Go. Need to make some for my teenage granddaughters and put a gift card to Sephora in it. There you go. That'd be cute. Okay. Tuck in. There we go. Candy for traveling. I usually like my friends. I've got friends who laugh at me at how many bags I have with me when I travel. But like I will need bags for like the nonsense things that I'm doing. So I'll need bags to put nonsense stuff in. Um then I'll need a bag for the stuff for Mac and I's scavenger hunt, right? Um I pre-sent all the stuff for the Wonderful make and take, but I'll need a bag that I put all the stuff in for the AccuQuilt make and takes. And that way I'll just drop off that bag at the AccuQuilt booth because I don't want to carry that stuff around all day. But then I'll just drop it off at the AccuQuilt booth. It'll go under the table and then be ready for me when I go to do that make and take. So there's that. Um, what else? There's um like I need pens for some of the autograph signings. It's very silly. I have giant oversized foam board versions of the quilt trading card covers that I use sometimes for events that I go to. And I'm going to bring both of those with me. And because the designers are going to be there, I'm going to have them autograph whichever edition they're in so that I can have those autographed. There'll only be one in the world of each of those. That's kind of cool. And I'll be the one who has it. So yeah, getting like I don't want to carry those around, so I'll bring them to whichever booth that we're doing the autograph signing at and drop it off there. But then it can't just it needs to be in a bag. So then I'd like putting things into bags and then they have their own containers and then everything I need for that thing is in its container and all I have to do is grab and go. So grab and go container. It's a little grab and go container. That I almost dropped it all. Like it almost went over the ironing board and onto the floor on the other side, but it didn't. So I like, yeah, the grab and go. So I have a lot of bags. So I might have a zipper pouch. I also like having different colors of them. So I will be like, so I'll have like a red zipper pouch that has all my makeup stuff in it, and I have a little green zipper pouch that has like business cards and stickers. And I didn't put quilty earrings on today, and quilty earrings so that when I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to put on quilty earrings, I can just throw them on because they're in the zipper pouch. Um, then I might have like I'll have a zipper pouch of just my quilt trading cards. So if you see me around on the show floor and say hi, then I can give you a quilt trading card. I need to have a bag that I'm going to put that day's pink glitter box bag template in to carry around until someone finds me and says, "Hey, has anyone found the asked for the glitter box bag template yet today?" And I'll be like, "No, you're the first." Or sorry, somebody already asked for it. They found me at like 8:27. Um, so um anyway, so yeah, and that way I can also have it all packed up the night before and on the way out the door, just grab it and go because I am not a morning person. I was here till 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. last night. I'm a morning person in that I stay up until the morning. Oh, I need to turn that into a sticker. I am a morning person. I regularly stay up till 1 a.m. So, but I also live on the West Coast. So being somewhere at 8 a.m. Raleigh time is 5 a.m. my time. And if it takes me just an hour to get ready and get over there, which it won't, I mean, I need at least 90 minutes. But let's say so if I need to be somewhere at 8 a.m., that means I have to be getting ready by like 6:30 to give myself a half hour to get there and an hour to get ready. I have to get up at 6:30 Raleigh time, which is 3:30 my time. And that's just rude. Like 3:30 in the morning is, I don't care what you say. That's just rude. So rude. 3:30 in the morning. Why does 3:30 in the morning even exist? Seriously. 3:30. So anyway, yeah, it's getting it all set up and ready to go the night before when I am feeling like my brain is on and functioning and putting it in the bags and having it ready for all the different things I need to do. That's the best. And I've also had it like where I have to at market, sometimes I'll teach a class. Market doesn't happen anymore. So in the past, I've taught a class at market, like first thing in the morning. And so I'll pack my bag for the day as well as my bag for my class. And I'll leave my bag for the day in the hotel because I'm staying right next to the convention center. Do my class and then come back, switch bags and go. And that way I don't have to schlep bags around all day. All right, 6 left. Making progress. Made one for my hubby. He loves to put his travel stuff in it. I made a bag for my husband for Christmas. I don't know if I'll share it online. I do have little like snippets of video of it. Um, Last year we went to the Tank Museum just outside of London, and he wanted a bag for his quarters because with his family we play Shanghai and we play Shanghai for quarters, so he needed a bag to hold his quarters in. And so I made him a bag to hold his quarters. and I foundation paper pieced tank on the front of it. And it's super cute. I mean, it's very manly. It's cute. It's a cute little tank. Said no one ever. Um, and anyway, so I made that for him for Christmas. It was fun. Lot of really tiny piecing, but it was fun. It's not much bigger than these bags. So, nope. Zipper pouches are good for all the things. I love lots of color organized bags. Best way to keep myself sorted. Yes, and like the bags, like they have to be different. They have to be visually different. I have to know that like the flower bag holds these things, and the green bag holds those things, and the red bag holds that. Yes. What quilt trading cards are you talking about? So, quilt trading cards are trading cards that have quilters on the front. I don't think I have it. Hold on, let me see. I think I've got some over there on the desk that I can grab for half a second. Ugh. Yeah. All right. I think this might be the first set. So they come in like a plastic baggie that has like a little thing on the top so it can hang. But this is quilt trading cards, and it's 9 different designers. This is series 1. And so as a designer, and then some information about the designer on the front. There's Matt Cox. There's me. And then on the back are instructions for making 12-inch finished quilt blocks. So whether you like to collect quilt block patterns, there's 9 quilt block patterns, or whether you like to learn about new and different pattern designers, which is on the front, or both, like it's for everyone, whether you like learning about new designers, whether you like making quilt blocks. And then on the back of the cover is instructions for turning the 9 blocks into a finished quilt. So it's all in here. And we've come out, series 1 and series 2 have come out. The next set, hopefully, fingers crossed, will come out in March. I wanted it to come out in November. That's how behind I am. But progress. And then we'll see when the next one after that will come out, because I'm working not fully simultaneously on both, but one is for the one that's coming out hopefully in March is much further than the next one. Alrighty. You're going east. Morning comes a lot earlier here. It really does. And I live in San Diego, so I'm always going east. I have a funny story. I had this fabric in the 70s. I always liked it. 2 years ago, my goddaughter goes, "Oh my gosh, you still have that fabric?" Yeah, it doesn't go bad. It's not bananas. Is there a way to get the past packs? So, with the quilt trading cards, when we launch the next edition, we stop printing the last one. So we don't print them anymore. However, knowing that there would be people who would find out in year 2 about it, I did print extras so that they would be out in the world. So I still have both series 1 and series 2 in stock. So the distributors can get them from me as well. So series 1 and series 2 are still out in the world and available from me. So I would always prefer that you get them from a local quilt shop rather than buy them from me. You can buy them from me, but support a local quilt shop. Buy them from your local quilt shop. So we have series 1, series 2, and then the next special ones are coming out. Hopefully in March. Yeah. hoping to be further along on them, but turns out that I cannot do all the things all at the same time. I can do all the things, just not at the same time. So some things have to wait a little bit longer. Turns out, much to my dismay, I am in fact human. All right, come here. How much are they? They're less than $10 a pack. It's like basically a full pattern. Um, what did Pat say? Going to make a pouch with a pocket and line it with that fabric. Oh, that's funny. For your daughter. Got it. I missed part of the thread. Hard pass on those early mornings, especially dealing with jet lag. Yeah, but if I'm like, all right, well, I will get there at 9 o'clock California time, then I get there at noon and I've missed half the day. So I just have no choice. The funny thing though is that sometimes I'll hang out with roommates. And I live in San Diego. So at best, the roommates are in the same time zone as me. At worst, they are all the way from the East Coast. So what's funny is that I'm usually the first one up out of bed. I'm not a morning person. I mean, neither are they. That's fine. But it is more morning-y for me than for them. And I'm usually the first one up and in the shower and getting going because otherwise I don't want to be hurried and rushed with 3 people all trying to do our hair in the same bathroom mirror at the same time. And I'm not a morning person, so I want just a little bit more time to figure out how to accept that yes, it is in fact morning and I do need to get my butt up. How many subscribers did I have when I did my first live? I mean, first of all, I don't know, but it's kind of a trick question because when I first did lives, so I knew that I needed to do more YouTube. And this was I was more of a crafter at this time than a quilter. So my early videos are more crafty videos, and then I really transitioned harder into quilting. I have a bunch of Cricut videos, and then there's Cricut quilting videos. Anyway, back when this was, gosh, more than 10 years ago, 12 years ago, maybe. Let's call it 12 years ago, 13 years ago, something like that. Google wanted to make their own Instagram, Twitter, Facebook type social media app, right? Google was trying to make a social media app. And it was called Google Plus, is what they called it. And so a couple of my friends and I got pretty heavily involved in Google Plus because when new social media platforms come out, if you're a content creator, you basically well, I guess there's kind of 3 things. But the 2 ends of the spectrum are you either say, yay, new platform. I want to rock it on this, totally rock on this platform. And I mean, it's Google's platform. Google's not going to let it fail, right? Spoiler, they did. They end up closing it down. But it's Google. They're not going to let it fail. So obviously I want to do great on this platform. Or you go, oh my gosh, yet another new platform. I can't, there are not enough hours going to take for me to do all the things. I'm just not doing it. Right. And then there's somewhere in between where it's well, I'll check in sometimes and maybe I'll do some things and we'll see how it goes. And put my toe in the water and try it out, and maybe it'll be fabulous and maybe it won't. So with Google Plus, it was like, well, it's cool. They're not going to let it fail. This is going to be an amazing, like, they're going to put so much behind this platform. Let's go. And Google had already at that time bought YouTube because Google owns YouTube. And so they were also connecting Google Plus to some of their different platforms. Like if you search stuff and you were friends or following someone on Google Plus, it would affect search rankings. I'm pretty sure, if I remember right. Don't quote me, but I'm pretty sure. Anyway, but they had a link between Google Plus and YouTube. So Google Meet, you might have like kind of like their version of Zoom, Google Meet was part of this whole Google Plus thing. It wasn't called Google Meet at the time, it was called Google Hangouts. And it was like through Google Plus that you could do a Google Hangout, which would be just like, you and your friends, kind of like doing a private Zoom call, right? But then they also had this thing called Google Hangouts on Air, which is like a Zoom call or a Google Meet, but you put it on air, which live streamed it to anyone who wanted to watch it, and would then also live stream it to YouTube. And once you were done with the live stream, it became a recorded video that stayed on YouTube. So if you go back to my early videos, a lot of them are Google Plus Hangouts on Air, because the biggest barrier for me in doing video was editing. I don't like the things that my face does. I don't like the sound of my own voice. At like any time I would try to edit my own videos was so much self-loathing. So much self-loathing. Like, why did you do that? And look how many double chins you have in that video. Just like all the so much self-loathing trying to edit my own video. And doing it as a hangout on air meant that I would have YouTube content through the live and I didn't have to do any editing. And so my first lives were Google Hangouts on Air. And I don't know how many subscribers I had back then, but it was like 12, 13 years ago. So I got a nice bump in subscribers when I did all that Cricut content, because there are a lot of people wanting to know how to quilt with their Cricut. And I did some like really like good like block of the week stuff for making quilt blocks with your Cricut. Yeah, and then Google has changed their rules over time. Like, I don't think that I think you have to have a certain number of subscribers now to go live. I don't know that was the case with Google Hangouts on Air. They've also like increased the number of subscribers and watch time and things like that you have to qualify to have your channel monetized. So folks get onto YouTube and want to make an income on YouTube, which that's hard. I don't make an income. I make a little bit of money on YouTube. I do not make an income on YouTube. Like right now, my monthly revenue on YouTube is like a car payment. Definitely not a mortgage payment. Definitely not a San Diego mortgage payment. It's more like a car payment. So yeah, YouTube. Look, I did 2 little tags on this one. A couple of them have 2 little tags. But yeah, they've changed the rules and whatnot for all of that. Hope that answers your question, Scrappy Crafter. All right, gotta go. Can't see your video. Wait to see your videos at QuiltCon. Thanks for the reminder to look at your web store, or look at my web store and then go to your local quilt shop and say these things. She likes it when we buy from quilt shops. These things. We want to buy these things. Oh, my nose is itching. The allergy thing. All right, 1, 2, 4 left. 4 left. See, I said 2 hours. It's going to be closer to 3. It's not bad though. And they'll be, well, this part, they'll be made. Then I have to do the things to get them fully ready to go in the bag. By the way, the bag that they're going to go in, I still have to make that. So maybe I'll make that next. All right, need a label. Speaking of labels, that's a lot of work too. What label do I want to use? I don't know. They're all so cute. Can I use that one? Oh, I didn't use the So Crabby one. I didn't use the Yeehaw ones. I only have 3 left to go after this. I want to make myself some more quilted jewelry, some new earrings to wear. That needs to get done. I need to finish ironing on all those transfers on the t-shirts. I want to do a video on making the quilted crowns because I launched the quilted crowns, but I haven't done a video on how to make them so people see how they come together. So I want to do that still. That was not on the list of the 12 videos that I want to make tomorrow. 3 left. 3 left after this. See you next weekend. See you next weekend. There is not enough time. It's so fun seeing the bags like getting turned right side out. Come on. Got this. There you go. Great that I have 60 hours days. Where do we apply, right? All right, there's a couple things that I would like to figure out how to do. One is figure out how to spend money twice, but without committing fraud. That would be fun. Like imagine if you have $20, but you can spend $40 worth and you only have $20. Well, not on a credit card. Like you don't have to pay it back. Like you can just spend the same dollars 2 times. That's magical. I'd love to spend money twice. So spending money twice, that'd be great. The other is I would love to find the 25th hour in the day. Because I think that once I find the 25th hour, then figuring out the 26th and 27th should be easy. The trick is finding that 25th hour. Maybe. I don't know though. We'll see. In the meantime, I will just keep finding 1 a.m. 1 a.m. I think once I finish these up, there's 2 after this, 2 after this. I think I've deserved a snack. I think I'll get a snack. So funny that I thought I could finish this all yesterday. So funny. We'll see how far I get at midnight. No. No. Only will go to where. There you go. That'll... Did not get far enough. Snack, like salted caramels. Wouldn't it be funny if I put salted caramels in these? That'd be funny. I'm not going to, though. A very limited number of people would get the joke. Got any fudge left from your advent calendars? Gosh golly, no, it's February, y'all. It would have gotten stale at this point. But no, it came home and it got eaten. And then usually like first week of January, any holiday candy and stuff that hasn't been eaten, it's not gonna go, like it's not gonna get eaten at this point. So we get rid of it. So that way we eat the best stuff and don't worry about the stuff that we don't really like. You know, like ginger fudge. Ginger fudge. Coffee chocolates. No, thank you. Fudge goes, it dries out. Yeah, it can go, it dries out. For sure. It gets like kind of cloudy on the outside. It gets dried out and brittle. All right. I know you can't read it, but it says 50% ye, 50% ha on this one. 2 left. Light at the end of the tunnel. And then I get to do the next thing. So how many was it? It was like 21 plus 12, 33. That's right. 33 bags. 34 if you count the one that I need to unpick. So that's a good number. Here. Let's see the actual process. I think I'm charged enough. All right. I think it's going to be kind of underneath the comments, but you can actually see what I'm looking, how I do it. So I'm not pinning. I'm sure you've noted, like, there were no pins anywhere. And I just line up these corner seams that go around. And then the zipper, I fold it in half. Line this up as best I can. This side needs a label, so I'm going to go ahead and tuck that in. Line up the edges. Line up this next corner seam. That's my ceiling. Ceiling, not as helpful. All right, just sew the rest of the way around. I need a different stand. I'm going to show you what I'm working on. Oh, you can do it on this one over here. We can set that up for the last one. After watching me doing it, you can actually see what I'm doing. Gotta go. Thanks for the fun hangout. Go well with getting all the things done. Ugh. No offense, Ethan. I don't know what that says. Okay. All right, last one. Let me set this up here. Come on. All right. I do this way. There you go. Look at that. Now you can see what I see. Could have done that earlier. Didn't. There we go. All right. I'm going to start by putting the, so I have the zipper sewn in and then I top stitched on top of the zipper. So that's why they're in this configuration. And then I need them right sides together. And I need to remember to open the zipper at least halfway. Come on, let go. There we go. And then I start on the bottom edge and I line up this corner. And I put the seams in opposite directions. And then I give myself a couple inches. Put it underneath the sewing machine. So this is the no frills, no pins, just getting them done way of doing it. Then I'm going to come here. I'll sew a little bit further. That's on the lining. All right. So here I want both the zipper teeth sides to face, oh, wrong way, face towards the outer fabric. There we go. And the seam allowances to go towards the lining and the teeth to go towards the outer fabric. And then I'm going to go ahead and line up the next spot. Lay everything smooth and flat. And so. Then once I've done that corner, line up the next spot. And go. And I'm kind of eyeballing a 1/4 inch seam allowance because it's a J foot. It's not a 1/4 inch foot. All right, this one before I line up this one. Well, all right, so this zipper, I'm going to fold it in half. So the zipper teeth are towards the outer fabric and the seam allowances are towards the lining. There we go. So the seam allowances towards the lining, the zipper teeth folded and towards seam allowance. And because this is the kind of butt end of the zipper, this is where I need to put in a tag. We'll put in the rotary cutter. I think that should be right side up. It's upside down for me and the bag's upside down for me, so that should work. I'm going to tuck it in and then sew. And I can sew right over that zipper because it's a nylon zipper. Then I'm lining up this next seam, laying everything flat. Go to that seam. And then this is the bottom. I want to leave myself a hole for turning, but I don't want to have to stitch that seam. So I go past that seam. All right, so now I get to turn the whole thing right side out. You've seen me do that a bunch of times already. Oh, oops. I forgot. I didn't clip off these zippers. So I can clip, I want to. I don't want all that zipper bulk in the bag. That would be silly. So clip off the zipper ends. And those can be used for crafts or you can toss them. All right. So now I've got this hole in the lining. And I grab the seam on one side, pinch it and lay it flat. Seam on the other side, pinch it and lay it flat. Then I use my fingers to pop that seam allowance in and line it up like so. I can put it underneath the needle, and I go from before the hole, and I go back and forth to lock those stitches, and then bigger than the hole, go back and forth to lock those stitches. All right. And now we get to tuck everything in. Nope. There we go. All right, so now we get to tuck everything in. I'm going to open the zipper all the way to help pop out this corner. There's my tag. And then I'm putting my hands inside and all four corners on the bottom. And this is why it's a boxed bag, because it'll sit up. Like it sits on its own, which is great. And also that means it opens wider because there's a nice big box, like flat bottom on it. And there we go. That's the last of the zipper pouches. Ha ha ha. I'm done. What kind of car? Oh, I mean, it depends on the month. But yeah, YouTube is hundreds of dollars, not thousands of dollars. At least, I mean, there are people who make thousands of dollars on YouTube. There are. I'm just not one. Like per month, I'm not one of them. I have made thousands in a month on a really good month with like some like really viral videos, but it's not the norm. It might be like 1,000. So I guess that's a little more than car payment. Because yes, it depends on the car. Not a beater car, but all right, friends. 2.5 hours, 2 hours and 37 minutes. And we also had some chit chat to get all the zippered pouches done. Here we go. Zipper pouch. All the ones up on the ironing board. Next bag. 2 more bags. I need to make my list of what I want to get done today. All right, friends. Well, that's it for today. I will see you right here. I should say, like, make sure you subscribe, give this video a thumbs up, go watch the other fun videos. I just did a video on sewing a rope bowl that went up on Friday, and it's really fun, and I think you'll enjoy that video. So you might want to go check that one out. That's it for today. I'll see you right here real soon, and I will see some of y'all in person at QuiltCon next week. Bye for now. And yes, I'm going to go get that snack now. Bye.